All right, there's a ruling already. Good news is I've had coffee in the meantime. So, all right. So the judge has done this thing he does on his letter motions where he puts stuff at the top. Two things. One, this is very difficult to understand if you're a lay person because there's a lot of like, if you know kind of stuff in there. But I'll explain it. But also just know that judges write confusing orders all the time. And sometimes you write this beautiful motion and you're very clear and you say, I would like 1, 2, 3, A, B, and C. And they write back some word salad and you're like, what the fuck does this mean? So it's not uncommon because they're doing so many of these all at one time. We probably did 50 of these this morning. It's not uncommon for you to get it and be like, what do I have to do? Wait now, did I win? Did I lose? Okay, so what does this say? This essentially is saying, this is not my problem. This is the judge saying, she's saying she's going to withdraw the claims. And if she's saying she's going to withdraw the claims, I'm going to believe her. And so you don't need to compel the evidence for the claims. However, no, I will not dismiss the claims myself, which the lively people had asked him, well, you can just dismiss it. And he's like, I'm not doing that shit. If you want them withdrawn, you withdraw them. And then he says, you could bring that back up again. That's kind of like, if you guys really can't agree, then ask me and maybe I'll consider it. But he's basically saying you guys need to work this out. This is not a judicial problem. Then he says, the party shall stipulate as to whether the dismissal is with or without prejudice. And if you can't agree, then bring it back here. And if you need me to dismiss it, then I will, if there truly is a dispute. Because part of what the lively people said in their response to the motion was, when we gave them the changes of let's change it to without prejudice, we had a meet and confer after that, and Wayfair didn't even bring it up. So part of what the judge is saying is like, you guys haven't even really discussed this amongst yourselves. So go discuss it amongst yourselves and see if you can agree. If you can't agree, then Lively can come back here and ask me to make the decision on dismissal. That is partially a brushback pitch to Lively saying, if you guys can't figure this out, I'll decide it for you. You might not like what I decide. Also, he says, by the way, Lively, I want to make it really clear here that if you do not dismiss these, you cannot offer evidence of emotional damage if you do not turn that evidence over in response to a request from Wayfair. So he's sort of framing for her, this is the decision that you need to make. If you leave them there, but don't actively prosecute them, you should turn that shit over. Because if you don't, you won't be able to use it. So to me, the top headline of this is, this isn't my fucking problem yet. You guys need to figure this out on your own. And if you absolutely positively cannot, then Lively can ask me to dismiss and I'll do with it what I please. But the subhead is, by the way, I am reminding everybody of the general rule that if there are claims out there where discovery is being refused, if there are issues out there, there are elements of claims out there, and you're refusing to provide discovery on the elements of those claims, you will not be allowed to present evidence on the elements of those claims later. So this is a nobody won, nobody lost to me. It's more of a, go back and work on this shit yourselves. I will say that, one of the things that the lively people had asked for in their response was, you should sanction them for filing this frivolous motion to compel. And he did not do that. He didn't even address that. I think that the lively people putting in every single response and every single motion, the Wayfair people are just trying to get media attention, this is all for PR, is getting old. And they're not necessarily wrong, but I think saying it every single time there's something in front of the judge, they're just trying to get media attention. Here's the article. I think it's getting old. I think he's getting annoyed because he didn't even talk about it. He didn't even address it. He's just like, I'm not even going to talk about that shit. I think they got their win that one time with the motion to strike, the motion to strike. More coffee. But he didn't even get into that. He's just like, no, y'all need to figure this shit out. So we'll see what happens. They're going to have to see if they can work this out amongst themselves. And if they can't, then Lively would have to file with the court saying, we cannot agree. We need you to dismiss these claims pursuant to our voluntary desire. But then if they do that, they can't control whether it's with or without prejudice. That's up to him.